Hi, this is Using PACER, What Could Possibly Go Wrong? My name is Brian Carver. I'm a co-founder with Michael Lissner of Free Law Project. It's a nonprofit which primarily seeks to put the entirety of United States case law online for the public for free. We also develop the website courtlistener.com, which is a free online searchable database of currently over 2.5 million court opinions. So someone asked me to create a demo of using the PACER system, and so I thought I should pick an example of an average person who might hear about a case in the news, perhaps on the radio, and decide that they're interested in learning more. So I picked an example from my own life. I heard about a case out of the Federal District Court in Maryland that upheld a state ban on assault weapons. This was in mid-August 2014. And so suppose you're interested in learning more about that case. Also, let's assume that you heard and remember the name of the case, Colby versus O'Malley. So I asked myself, what would the average person do in that circumstance? I think they would probably go to Google, type in Federal District Court Maryland, and the first result would be the website for the District Court for the District of Maryland. We click on that, and we see the court's website. As you start looking at the options down the side, there's CM/ECF, attorney admissions, calendar, case information. That sounds good. Probably will click that. Let's see what else there is. CGA, court information, forms and manuals. Okay, let's click case information. Now, by clicking case information, we're actually headed down a dead end, but we don't know it yet. The options that clicking on case information reveals are admiralty, alternative dispute resolution, courtroom technology, find your case administrator, recent opinions, that sounds good, and something about traffic offenses. So let's click on recent opinions. There you do find a list of recent opinions from the District Court for the District of Maryland. In fact, in the screenshot I was able to get all of the ones from August 2014 that appear on this page. And you'll search in vain for anything looking remotely like Colby versus O'Malley. It turns out that this recent opinions page is only a partial list of recent opinions, but nowhere on this page does it explain that to you, that this is an incomplete list. And nowhere does it provide you with a link to the PACER site for the District Court for the District of Maryland, which actually would give you access to the additional recent opinions from this court. So I think most people would give up right here and say, oh, well, it's just not available on the court's website. That case information button, the most likely link for you to click on, doesn't actually lead to the PACER system in which case information resides. Instead, you have to do a really unintuitive thing. If you were very determined, you might keep clicking around on the court website, and maybe you'd click on CM/ECF, which stands for Case Management Electronic Case Filing, terms that are not defined on the court's front page. If you did click on CM/ECF and could read the fine print, you'd see that your options were electronic case filing, PACER, procedures, registration, tutorials, training, and forgot my password. So you probably might think I would suggest clicking on PACER. That actually could be wrong. If you're already a registered PACER user, you're going to be disappointed by clicking on that PACER link, because clicking this PACER link takes you off the District Court for the District of Maryland site without any warning that you're leaving their site, and takes you to the nationwide pacer.gov website. So if that happened to you, you'd end up wasting some time on the pacer.gov site and clicking back around to finally get back to the PACER site for the District Court for the District of Maryland. Instead, even though you just want to look at opinions, you're not trying to file anything, you need to do something sort of unintuitive and click on electronic case filing. Now, remember, this was supposed to be an average person looking for a court opinion, a non-lawyer member of the public. I don't think anybody would do this, but let's see what would happen. If you did click on the electronic filing link, it would take you to this page, which again doesn't give you a lot of options. So suppose you click on the only thing other than protecting privacy, the document filing system link. Again, you're not filing anything, but suppose you click that, you would finally make it to the PACER login page for the district court for the District of Maryland. So now you need a login and a password. If you're already a PACER user, you've probably played that game before and knew that you needed to jump through these hoops to even get to this login page. But if you're not a PACER user, they do provide you a link to pacer.gov here where you could go and register. So let's see what that would be like. If you need to register for a PACER account and you click on that link in the middle of the page, you'll go to the pacer.gov site. It looks nice. And the register button is right there on the top, so suppose you click that. Then it tells you you can either click on some options to the left that say appellate legacy, district bankruptcy legacy, or you can click on the start button. I don't know what those legacy links do or if I need that, so let's just click start. That gives me a choice between view and e-file and or attorney admissions registration. Well, I'm sort of guessing here that I'm not looking for attorney admissions or e-file, and so let's click view. Clicking view brings up this pop-up. Now, in part, it's a good thing because it shows me that this option is not exclusive to attorneys and is available to everyone. It's the option that most people choose. Okay, maybe I'm on the right track here. And then I see I'm going to have to provide a credit card during registration, and if I don't want to provide a credit card, I'll get an activation code sent by US mail, and I should allow 7 to 10 business days for mail delivery. These codes cannot be emailed, faxed, or given over the phone. Then I also learned there's a fee for accessing PACER. Well, there's no fee for registration, but that I will generate a 10-cent per page charge accessing PACER systems. Okay, and there is a link to a free training site, but I just want to look at one opinion. So, given what I now know, maybe I would proceed. I sort of think that even fairly determined people would, who hadn't already given up, would certainly give up at this point. The idea that they would have to provide a credit card or wait 10 days just to look at this opinion that they heard about seems really unlikely to me. But let's suppose we press on. You get a long registration form with a lot of required fields. You have to provide first name, last name, date of birth, address, city, state, county, zip code, country, primary phone, email, confirm your email, pick a type of account. Individual is an option near the end of the drop-down list. And there's a CAPTCHA that you need to correctly complete. Then you're also going to be asked for a username, password, some security questions and answers, credit card billing information. Okay. After you get registered for PACER, one thing you might find while you're on the pacer.gov site is they do have this PACER case locator. So you might say, great, I want to look for the case I'm interested in. And this note down at the bottom indicates that newly filed cases appear on the system within 24 hours, under normal circumstances. It's been almost 2 weeks since the decision I'm interested in. So let's click on Advanced Search and choose the region, Maryland, and then type in part of the case name that I remember, Colby versus O'Malley. Now, you may have noticed that Colby is not spelled in the most natural way. I'm not even going to go through the various mistakes you could make with respect to that. Let's suppose we got lucky and decided to type in O'Malley. We click search, we get charged 10 cents, and we get 7 non-responsive cases filed between 1985 and 2003. None of them are the Colby versus O'Malley case. Okay, so I'm not sure what most people would do at that point. Probably spend more money searching on variations of Colby and try spelling O'Malley different ways and things like that. I actually did try searching O'Malley as a party name rather than as part of the case name. I don't show it here because I don't think you would even believe me that I didn't pick this example on purpose to make fun of the PACER case locator, but it's really terrible. A couple hundred results come up, none of which appear to be the Colby versus O'Malley case. So suppose you decide, okay, the PACER case locator isn't working for me. I want to just go to the district court for the District of Maryland's website. I find a link back there, get back to this login page. I'm now registered for PACER. I can type in my login and password. I'm used to PACER requiring a lot of required fields now, so I might be a little scared by this client code field. I don't know what a client code is or if I have one. I'm just going to leave it blank, click login, and we make it. Okay, now what? I see at the top there are some tabs: query, reports, utilities, log out. Let's try the first one, query. It will give you a page with an absolutely terrifying warning at the top. Let's look at that a little closer. The warning says, search results from this screen are not subject to the 30-page limit on PACER charges. Please be as specific as possible with your search criteria. So I personally have made some typos and mistakes on query pages like this while using PACER, and I've been charged over $50 for a single mistaken search results page. This is a really scary warning. If you type in a bad search that gives you no search results, you still get charged 10 cents for that page telling you there were no responsive results to your query. If you thought, hey, I should type Colby versus O'Malley in that last /business name field, that also won't work, and you'll get charged 10 cents for the non-responsive results. So again, right, if I heard about this on the radio, the odds that I'm going to type in Kolbe instead of Colby for Colby are 0. And you could spend a lot of time and money just trying to sort that problem out. I'll show you real quick. If in that last business name field we did type Colby, we actually, with a C, we actually get somewhat lucky that there have thus far only been 3 parties in the District of Maryland with that last name. And so I get charged 10 cents for that initial set of results. And note, this transaction receipt showing that I was charged 10 cents always appears after I've already been charged at the bottom of the page, except for when we get to documents a little bit later. When you're just browsing around most of PACER, how much you're going to be charged or that you're going to be charged is not clear from any interstitial warning page saying, you're about to be charged 10 cents. Are you sure? That does not happen until you get to documents themselves. If you did click through on each of these 3 Colbys, you're going to spend another 10 cents figuring out that these are not the Colby versus O'Malley case. Okay, so you tried that, didn't work. Let's type O'Malley into the last business name. And the reason I'm taking that approach is if you haven't seen the other options, they are things that I don't know, like case number, I don't know what that is. Case status, open, closed, all, okay. The filed date, the last entry date, the nature of suit, the cause of action. None of those are things that I would know just from hearing about a case on the news. All I have to go by is last name, first name, middle name, and maybe the type, party versus attorney. So we type O'Malley into the last name. I pay 10 cents again, And I learned that there are 42 people named O'Malley that have been parties to cases in the District of Maryland. So now what? I've already seen from clicking on the 3 Colbys that this can be costly. What do I do? Well, from this point, if you had a small amount of both legal and factual knowledge, you could save yourself a little bit of time. First, if you had the legal knowledge that litigation challenging a state statute often names the governor or the state attorney general as the defendant, and secondly, if you had this little bit of factual knowledge that Martin O'Malley is the governor of Maryland at the time this suit's filed, then you could at least narrow it down to these O'Malleys that look like the governor. Without that information, you're just going to be guessing. You're going to have to click through all 42, I guess, until you get lucky. So there was a listing in there that said O'Malley, Honorable Governor Martin. Let's click on that one, right? It returns a single case, but the wrong one. Harrison versus O'Malley. Well, okay, now what do? I go back. I look at that long list of O'Malleys, and I see that in the middle there are variations on Martin O'Malley. There are 12 of them, in fact. Some with misspellings, some with his middle initial, some with his middle name fully spelled out, some with potentially an incorrect middle initial. Or maybe this is a different person. Well, my only option is to click each one of these. Here's what happens if you do that. If you click the first one, you get the wrong case. If you click the second one, you get charged 10 cents, you get 2 wrong cases. You click the third one, you get charged 30 cents, and you'll have to scroll through 73 cases to make sure that none of them are Colby versus O'Malley. You click on the fourth O'Malley, you get charged 10 cents, and you see 2 cases that are not the one you're looking for. You click on the fifth O'Malley, you get charged 20 cents, and you'll have to scroll through 41 incorrect cases, making sure none of them sound anything like Colby versus O'Malley. You click on the sixth to get the wrong case, you click on the seventh O'Malley, you get charged 10 cents, and you see 5 wrong cases. You click the eighth, you get the wrong case. You click the ninth, you get charged 10 cents, and you have to recognize that the 7th out of the 10 entries that appear are Kolbe et al. Versus O'Malley et al. And hopefully you recognize that that's another way to spell Colby, and you click on that one. There's the case you've been looking for, finally. You click on it and you get this docket, or this query page really. It's not a docket yet. And the options are alias, associated cases, attorney, case file location, case summary, deadlines, hearings, docket report, filers, history/documents, party, related transactions, status, view a document. Okay, so most new users are going to have no idea what to do next. And hopefully by now they've learned that mistakes are costly and unpredictably costly. Every time we were charged 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the prior page, there was no warning about how much we were going to be charged. It just gives you the transaction receipt at the bottom. So the best bets here look like case summary, docket report, history/documents, or maybe view a document. I'm looking for a single document. Maybe I would try view a document. If I click on that, we get this page. It shows the case number, the case name, says document, and provides a little entry box. Well, it's totally unclear what to do next. I mean, because I'm familiar with PACER, I think that what they want you to do here is enter the document number. But of course, I don't know the document number if I'm pretending to be an average person who just heard about this in the news. And even if I understand exactly what they're asking for here, in most cases, I'm not going to know the document number in advance. I can imagine an ordinary user typing opinion or decision into this box and getting all kinds of incorrect results. So let's just go back. click on case summary instead. Well, we get charged 10 cents, we don't get any documents at all, we get a list of attorney contact information. Okay, that's no good. Go back again. Let's click on history/documents. We'll get this page, which says we could get all events or only events with documents. We can sort them and we can run the query. Okay, this sounds like maybe this could work. I mean, not that it's entirely clear from this page. But suppose we click on only events with documents. Let's display the docket text. Give me the most recent stuff first because I'm looking for an opinion from 12 days ago. Run the query. We're charged 80 cents without warning, and we finally can see the court opinion that we were looking for. Great. Now, you actually want to download the thing called the Memorandum Opinion, document number 78. But a new user might spend another 10 cents thinking that the order, document number 79, was the document they were looking for. And if the document is marked correctly, there won't be a charge for the opinion itself. Here's the interstitial page that it shows you that the document is 47 pages and the cost is 0, and it says at the bottom, the document you requested is 47 pages and there is no charge for viewing opinions. So we can click on View Document and get the opinion we were looking for. Now, before this demonstration, I'd actually never used the history/documents report feature. Once you understand what a docket report is, I think it's more likely that you would click on that option to learn about a case and find all the other documents in the case. So I think we should go back and see how that works. If we clicked on docket report, we would get this page. It shows the case number and the case name, some filed and entered date boxes, some document range boxes, some check boxes, and a sorting option. So even if I don't understand all these options, I might click Run Report just without changing anything. Let's see what happens if we do that. Running the docket report will be charged $1.70, again without warning. And at the bottom, you can also find the opinion we've been searching for. While I was making this demo, the court actually released an amended opinion, document number 81. And so that's actually the one that I would want. So we can read the opinion. Here it is. Let's summarize what's happened here. I visited 4 websites: Google, the Maryland District Court page, PACER.gov, and then the ECF website for Maryland. I had to register for a PACER account and provide a credit card. It should be obvious that you can easily spend $2 to $4, or if you're searching very persistently and very poorly, much, much more, clicking around while you're trying to locate that quote-unquote free opinion that you want. So the experience of using PACER is really hard to convey, but you quickly learn that it feels like walking in a minefield, in which you never know when that billing dialogue is going to appear and how bad the damage will be. If you're a user with some price sensitivity, that element of surprise billing makes the system utterly unusable. Finding where to go and what to search for is, I think, basically not feasible for the average member of the public, even if they're not price sensitive. And then another thing that I haven't shown you yet, but duplicate billing for the same page during the same session is particularly onerous when using PACER. While I was making the demo, I clicked the back button to go back to the docket and was charged again for the docket several different times. When I'm telling people about using PACER, I use the mantra, beware the back button. So let's try the same process on courtlistener.com. Go to courtlistener.com. You'll see the main page has this big search bar in the middle, and next to it is a little icon of a courthouse that if you put your mouse over, a pop-up appears that says select jurisdictions. So we can click on that courthouse icon and the jurisdiction picker will come up. Now when I used the PACER court locator, I limited my search to Maryland, so let's do the same thing here. There are two ways you can do it. You could type Maryland into the text box, or you could clear all the checkboxes by clicking Clear All, click the Federal District tab, and then just click the box for the District of Maryland. We'll scroll down and click on Apply to save our changes. When you do that, Court Listener takes you back immediately to the Advanced Search dialog, where you'll see these options. And I think we should order our results. If you click on the result ordering option, we can change it from the default of relevance to newest first, since we know we're looking for a recent opinion. We also see that it shows that there's one jurisdiction selected, District of Maryland. And again, let's type in O'Malley as our case name. Same thing I did on the PACER locator. And then I'll click search. There's 5 results currently in Court Listener. We actually don't have a lot of the District of Maryland opinions. And the 2 at the top are Colby versus O'Malley. One from August 22nd, the first one, and another from August 12th. So this is an example of Court Listener typically will catch when courts issue an opinion and then also issue an amended opinion, as happened in this case. So suppose we click on the top result, we get the opinion, and we can now read it right here on the Court Listener website, or on the left-hand margin, there's this section called View Original, and if you click on the link called Our Backup, you can look at the original PDF. Now, Court Listener doesn't always have recent federal district court opinions. I actually made sure that we had this one just for the purposes of this demo, but we are working to integrate federal district court opinions into Court Listener. But as you saw, PACER makes getting access to federal district court opinions difficult and expensive. You can actually help us with this problem. Sign up for an account on Court Listener, which is totally free. Use it. Let us know what else you'd like to see there. You can support our nonprofit free law project with a donation at courtlistener.com/donate. And you can also download the Recap browser extension if you use Firefox or Chrome at recapthelaw.org. What Recap is a partnership between Princeton's Center for Information Technology Policy and Free Law Project. It is a suite of browser extensions that improve your experience when you're browsing PACER. It not only improves your browsing experience, but also simultaneously builds a free and open repository of those court records. Here's a quick look at what it does. If you do have to use PACER, then when you install Recap and you do the same sort of things that we just did, you'll see the little blue Recap icon sprinkled through your docket reports and other pages on PACER. And that tells you that the Recap archive already has this document. You could click on that icon rather than the PACER link and download that same document for free from our repository. Also, when you pay for a document not in the in the Recap archive, then the Recap extensions automatically upload that to our archive so that the next person can get it for free. We're at freelawproject.org, courtlistener.com, and recapthelaw.org. This is Using PACER. What could possibly go wrong?